Hey, cousin, and welcome back to another episode of the Finessin Failure Podcast. Y'all, it's officially season 3. And although I have had so much stuff going on, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I am so excited for this season. Mostly because I can't even give y'all all the tea, but just know I am so excited for this season because there is so much that I'm going to be giving you guys, and I'm just high key excited for everything that I have going on. With all that being said, I'm going to position myself to where I feel like is the best lighting, and we're going to get into the topic. Well, actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and start off by giving y'all a quick little backstory. So, season 2, if y'all haven't watched the prelude episode to season 3, season 2 was really strictly about getting myself back into the groove of creating podcast episodes, editing, making sure that I really wanted to get back into the podcast space. It was also about giving many thanks to my sister, my niece, my support system, my family for pulling me out of an era that I did not think was possible. I'm not gonna lie to you, unless you are 110% healed, you are still gonna have bad days. And that doesn't mean your whole life is ruined, your whole day is ruined. It strictly just means that you're gonna have a bad day every now and then. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start off with season 3, episode 1. We're going to be talking about thriving in business without a partner. This is what I'm doing today. Drink of the day is going to be a Pepsi. Pepsi has two new flavors. One is peach and then one is lime. The peach one is really, really peachy. The lime one is really refreshing. So I actually just grabbed a regular Pepsi because I just was craving it. But we're getting into the topic of thriving without a business partner. When you get into being an entrepreneur, there's always a reason that you start wanting to build your own business from the ground up. Whether that's you don't want to work for someone else for the rest of your life, whether that's you really need some financial freedom, you need some extra cash flow, you really just have the time and you want to build a financial future for not only you, but your kids, your family, whatever the case may be. There's always the reason you get into entrepreneurship. And a lot of the misconceptions around entrepreneurship is you have to do everything alone. The fact is, you don't have to do everything alone. The fact is, you actually need a steady community that you can be in to help you grow your business. You can't do everything by yourself. And my first year of entrepreneurship, I tried to do everything by myself, build everything from scratch, from the ground up. You need a blueprint. You don't necessarily need a partner or a collaborator or anything like that, but you definitely need something or some group or somebody to help you through your journey, whether that's a mentor, a friend, a accountability partner. You need someone. But there is a way that you can thrive without a partner or a partnership in your business. And these are the tactics that I have used in the last 4 years to build my business from 0 to 100. And if you guys are ready, just go ahead and grab a pen, grab some paper, even start texting your friends, listen to the podcast episode, season 3, episode 2, because she's dropping fire. Okay. So here are some of the advantages of being a solo entrepreneur. If you've been struggling with being consistent and working on discipline within yourself, you can always get an accountability partner. This is someone that you talk to whenever, like, you have your weekly check-ins. I think that an accountability partner is a lot more beneficial than people are letting on. Because yes, an accountability partner is someone that, hey, you check in, they check in, but it's also like you have to be honest with that person. If you're honest with that person and let's say you fell back on some of your goals for the week or the month, and that person's like, hey, what you been doing? What you been up to? Like, we check in once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, and you never told me, like, hey, I didn't hit this goal, but I'm trying to hit that goal. Maybe, just maybe, you'll start to push yourself a little bit more. Entrepreneurship isn't about giving 100% every single day. It's about the 100% equaling out every single day. Don't let that go over your head. Now, with that all being said, my accountability partner used to be my significant other. And he would hold me accountable for a lot of different things, for what I was doing in my free time, why I was always asleep instead of working on my business, why I always wanted to, or not always wanted to, but why I went out to have drinks when I knew something was due, things of that nature. He always held me accountable, especially when it was launch season for me. So launch season for me is either about recording episodes or for the podcast or creating a new website to sell and or launch myself, product research. Launch season for me happens 4 times a year. This is something that I do with my sister. My sister and I do body doubling twice a week. So body doubling is essentially a tactic or method that you can also use to streamline your productivity and become efficient. So my sister does not live in the same state or city that I live in. So we normally do either a Zoom call or a FaceTime call twice a week to make sure that we're being productive and getting things done. Body doubling is when you're on the phone or you're in someone else's personal space, and if they're being productive, you are also being productive. So you don't necessarily have to talk to that person, but it is where you're sitting with that other person or they're in the presence of you and you're working together. I have noticed that if I'm on the phone with my friends or my family, I get so much more work done than I would if I was just on my own. Body doubling is a tactic that I would use, that I will continue to use until the end of time, because I know how productive I can be whenever I am body doubling with someone. This is a note that I wanted to leave with you guys as far as entrepreneurship and starting and even thriving without a partner. Being inside of an entrepreneurship bubble gives you the freedom to do what you want when you want, but that doesn't mean you get to just put everything on the back burner and claim you're an entrepreneur. That's not how you make money. There are people who are obsessed with entrepreneurship, people that are obsessed with earning their own money, people who are obsessed with the lifestyle that entrepreneurship can bring them. So I will say my first 2 years of entrepreneurship, I was also obsessed with the lifestyle, obsessed with trying to gain as much knowledge as I could in order to start my own business, in order to make my business successful. And I have learned in the last couple of years, entrepreneurship isn't about giving 100% 5 days a week. It's about giving 20% on Monday, but 60% on Friday. It's about giving another 20% on Wednesday, or 10, 10, 10. But it's really about understanding how much you need to put in every single day. So I create to-do lists for myself for the day of the week. And I correspond the day of the week's to-do list to what I have in my personal life that I have to do as far as like my actual job. So if I'm off on, let's say, a Thursday, Thursday is the day that I put in the most work because I don't have to worry about getting off work, taking care of the house, cooking, cleaning, all that other stuff. I'm only at mindset wise, I'm only at my job for me. So I put in the most work on the days that I'm off. The other days, small percentages. Hey, I'm gonna do a 10% day here when I get off work. Well, I know I have to work late, so I'll wake up early and I'll get this and this done. I'll take a nap to be ready for work, get off work, go to sleep. The next day I'm putting in another 30% because, I had a shorter shift, whatever the case may be. Something else that I've noticed in my own life that has been really beneficial for me is realizing the workspaces that you work better in. So I have a really busy job. It's a lot of commotion going on around all the time. There are TVs everywhere. There's music playing 24/7. There's people walking in, walking out. I work in a bar, but I realized that I work better when there is so much more working or so much more going on around me, that I'm so focused and I'm dialed into what I'm doing. So that may be something that you can also take from this or from me to help in your life. Figure out what spaces you work better in, and not only that, what you can get done in different spaces to make you feel better. So I know that tomorrow is my off day. I plan on doing a spa day tomorrow. I'm going to be creating content because I'm doing a spa day. I know when I get home, I just want to relax. So I might be doing some light work. I might be editing a podcast episode, or I might be creating 2 or 3 reels for my other 3 businesses. It just all depends on what I am feeling like, plus what I've already planned out for my week. Here are some of the challenges that I have faced as a solo entrepreneur. You may think that you're alone, and making all of the decisions can be super, super scary. And I'm not even going to say like Friday the 13th scary. I'm talking about your anxiety will not stop going through your ADHD in your mind. It's just everywhere, right? Like you are terrified to make a decision because what if this and what if that, right? Well, here's the thing. You can only learn from situations that you fail at. My whole podcast, my whole YouTube channel is about finessing failure, making failure work for you. So let's dive into it. I actually have an excerpt here that I wanted to read you guys. So if I'm looking down while I'm reading this, that is why. As different decisions come your way, you may want to procrastinate or ignore it altogether. I know that I get extremely overwhelmed if I have seven, five, three, any amount of number of things coming at me at one time. So I genuinely have to just take a deep breath, breathe out, and slow everything else around me down. It is not a good thing to ignore anything inside of your business. Make the decision hard and fast. Pull the trigger. The worst that could happen is what? You'll end up learning a lesson if you're wrong or making a wrong decision. But at least you made the decision, you learned from it, and you won't make it again. These are the things that I have learned after making bad calls, bad decisions, not only in my personal life, but my business life, my work life. Like, we've all made a bad decision, but we've all come to realize that making bad decisions only makes us better. So listen to this. Isolation is a choice. While your business is solely yours and yours alone, you don't have to bear it alone. You can always have a listening ear or many listening ears. If you fear or are currently feeling alone and isolated from the world, from everyone, I recommend you join a few Facebook groups and be engaged in those groups. Don't just join the group, scroll when you see their posts, like, be engaged, comment on other people's things, build up your network, build who you want to be, and start with creating a small community. Also, I urge you to join your Chamber of Commerce. Now, this does have a yearly or monthly fee depending on what state or county that you're in. But joining your Chamber of Commerce will also link you with a lot more people in your network that can help you build your business. This is not something that you should be afraid of. This is something that you should be jumping toward. Now, if you don't have the money to join your Chamber of Commerce, that's cool. That's fine. No one is judging you for that, because at the end of the year, you may have enough money. You may be making enough money to where you can just throw that money to the side and say, hey, I'm glad that I can be included in these networks, in these mixers, and these opportunities to expand my business. But if you do decide to join the Chamber of Commerce, go to the meetings, go to their events, make sure that you have a plan, because joining the Chamber of Commerce is cool, but what is the point if you're not going to be engaged in that community? Something that frequently comes up a lot in the entrepreneurship world is heavy workloads. You are constantly working and taking care of the business that you created. Why are you working so much? Well, you have to remember, you are the only one working on your business. You are the only one that is accountable for your business. And if you don't work, the business doesn't work. And if the business doesn't work, you don't make any money. A plus B equals C squared. So this is something that I had to learn, and we talked about this a few minutes ago. You do not have to achieve everything in one day. You think they built Rome in a day? You think it took God 7 days to create the earth? You think you're going to complete everything in one day? You're not. Break everything down into achievable pieces. So that way, at the end of the week, you can breathe easy knowing that you've accomplished everything. If you take one day and you complete 20% of the work, you only have 80% left to go. Versus having one off day trying to complete 100% of the stuff. And then when you don't, because you're tired, you're exhausted, or you're not putting in that same level of energy you put in, or you should be putting in, you want to give up. Don't sabotage yourself from the beginning. You cannot achieve everything in one day. No one is asking you to achieve everything in one day. You just have a very specific idea of how and what achievement looks like and what success looks like for you, which you need to change that altogether. Something else that you can do in order to solve your heavy workload issue is time blocking. Remember, we talked about that 20%, that 10%, that 15%, and then your heavy workload days. Time block what you have to do in your day. Create a very specific time. So that way, I have an hour to get this done. There are so many apps that lock down your phone. You can even put your phone on Do Not Disturb, put it in the other room. You can have an alarm clock that goes off. You can even have an actual time block that you can get from Amazon, and you'll flip it. And when you flip it, it goes, I'm setting this a timer for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, I'm done doing whatever this is. I'm giving myself 30 minutes to complete this. And they have different increments of time, of course, but as soon as that alarm goes off, you're going to the next task. If I have 3 hours to complete 3 tasks, I'm going to start on the task that takes me the most amount of time first. And then if I have time left over, I'm going to go ahead and try to get these other things done. Now, I've already told you guys about our weekly to-do list and how to complete a weekly to-do list, but just in case I was not super clear, my weekly to-do list is Sunday to Saturday. Sunday is always my reset day for my Monday to get my week started. Thursday is the day that I look at to say, where am I at in achieving all of my goals this week? And if I have not achieved any of those goals, I know that my weekend is going to be jam packed. But it's because my Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was nothing. The most important part about time blocking and using your time efficiently is to avoid burnout. So, if anyone has ever worked a job, has ever done anything for a long period of time, you can experience burnout very quickly. Burnout is essentially when you put your all into something so much and so long that you're just exhausted and you're giving half-ass. Honestly, you're not putting in the same effort you were putting in on day 1 through 7. You're not giving the same amount of attention to it. You just are like, okay, I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna put it out, and I'm done with it. That is what burnout looks like. To avoid burnout, you create those to-do lists, you section your time off, you do the small things, and you do them to where they equal out to all of your goals being accomplished. um this is something that I have done in the past that I will continue to do. Is if you are in the financial space, like you can afford to spend anywhere between $100 and $300 a month, outsourcing some of the tasks that you feel are mundane, that take away from the process, that take away from you actually being productive or you wasting time doing these things every day, outsourcing those tasks to people who like doing those tasks is going to be very beneficial for you. So let's say I hate editing. I hate editing. That's no cap. Like, I hate editing. I love creating a podcast. I love recording. I love talking to you guys. I love getting your feedback. I love all of those things. But I hate sitting down and editing. I absolutely hate it. So what do? I go online and I try and find someone who is good at editing, who loves to edit, who can get my edits back to me within 5 to 7 days. And I pay them. And when it comes back, I can go in and do my cover photo. I can go in and do my description, my what's it called? I can go in and do my cover photo. I can go in and do my description. I can go in and create my polls. I can go in and create my community post that I'm going to be making so that way I can engage you guys. I can go in and respond to all the comments because I did not spend an hour and a half editing a video. I now have that hour and a half to do something else. Outsourcing is such a trick a hack that people hate doing because they genuinely hate feeling like relying on someone else because they feel like they're cheating themselves. You're not cheating yourself. You're actually cheating yourself if you don't outsource. Do you think that Alex Hermosi edits all of his videos himself? Do you think that he posts manually all of his videos himself? No, there's no way. Alex Hermosi's time, he probably time blocks every second of the day. And if you want to be as efficient and brilliant and successful as the Alex Hermosi's, the Neos, the David Shans, if you want to be as successful as these people, as the Asia Absence, you have to outsource some of the things that you don't want to do in order to effectively utilize your time. That is a hack that people sleep on. I need y'all to wake up. I need y'all to understand that outsourcing will save your life, will save your time management, and will also save so much headache, heartache, and you can avoid burnout so easily. So with that being said, go to Fiverr, go to Upwork, go online to your Facebook communities and ask who's good at X, Y, and Z. Hey, I want to contract you out for a 2-month time span for you to do, let's say, 8 YouTube cover videos and descriptions for these podcast episodes. Can you do those? How much are you going to charge me for the 8 month? And get the ball rolling. Okay. You've heard me dip into the effective time management topic, but we're going to dive super deep into it right now. While I spoke about time management, you want to keep this on your forefront. Please create a routine and prioritize tasks. I've started using the P1 to P4 format. And if it isn't a P1 or P2, it can be outsourced or it can be handled later. Routine operations can be automated using the right software. I utilize ChatGPT, Mailchimp, Shopify, and Beacons for automating 85% of my business. Now, it is a bit of back end setup in order to get all of these platforms on the same page, but your business can and will run on autopilot if you do all of the hard work up front. I'm gonna give you an example. If you are sending out a weekly newsletter for your business to keep your clients engaged, to keep them in the know of what's going on in whatever space of the world you're in, if you spend 1 hour crafting those topics and then another hour writing out the blog or the newsletter or whatever it is, another 30 minutes creating the design, using the automation tool in Mailchimp or MailerLite or Klaviyo, Flowdesk, whatever email platform that you are using to auto send out those newsletters, you will no longer have to manually send out newsletters or put that task on your to-do list weekly. Habit trackers can be used for reminders for daily basis and confirmation that something was completed. So for me, when I am thinking about a newsletter, the first thing I do is create a template because all I want to do is plug and drop, plug and drop, plug and drop. I need to be able to create that newsletter within 30 minutes. And that is from the time of crafting the email, the subject, and everything else to submitting it to Mailchimp for it to be auto sent on whatever date and time I select. Now, using your time efficiently, you need to figure out what tools work best inside of your business. There is an AI app, or not app, but there is an AI application that I do use in order to schedule out all of my reels on Instagram for multiple businesses, and it is called repurpose.ai. I started using this, and I'm not even going to lie to you. I will post on one platform and it goes to 3 different platforms automatically. No back end work. I have to post on one platform. Now, I did have to set it up in the back end, and of course, that took a little bit of time. But the key to it taking a little bit of time was I got to figure out how to use the platform and what benefits it was to me. That is something that I pay $25 a month for, and I'm automatically posting for myself on 4 different platforms at one time. So that for me is something that saves me so much time. That saves me so much time, so much effort, so much everything. Facebook Business Suite is also something that I use. It is completely free if you have a personal or creator account or business account, if I'm not mistaken. All you have to do is go in, schedule out all of your reels, your posts, whatever the case may be, and automatically connect that page to your repurpose AI, and anything that you post on that page will automatically send to whatever other platforms. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. I'm so mad I wasn't using it before. It has saved me so much headache and heartache, honestly. So the last couple of things that I'm going to talk to you guys about is building a support network. While you may be a solopreneur, you are not alone in the entrepreneur space. There are probably 2 to 3 to 7 to 9 to 5 billion entrepreneurs in the entrepreneur space. I'm not sure how many times that I'll be telling you or I'll be saying that you're not alone, but I'm probably going to put it on a shirt. You are not alone. You are not by yourself. You are choosing to be by yourself. It is your job to create a community you want, not only for your business, but for yourself as well. There is nothing like a support system that is actually supportive and that understands you and can help you and can guide you. Like I told you, my sister and my best friend have been so helpful for me in the last few years and months. I've already encouraged you to find a few local or online communities to join, but here's some helpful tips in building your support network. Reach out to either family or friends first and give them a pitch. Talk to them about what you're doing, what you're going through, and ask for their support. Not in a financial way, but on the lend me an ear or an idea way. Then go to Facebook, search for local groups that you can join that speak directly to you. And here's the key: introduce yourself. Don't just join the group. After that, ask anyone if they'd like to chat one on one and start building your engagement with those people. After a few months of consistency and contact, you'll feel a lot better and you'll gain a lot more knowledge from your peers. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. Even if consistency for you means scheduling out so many other things so that way it looks like you're being consistent, even though you're not, you're just reaping the benefits of using your resources properly. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk to y'all about in this whole segment is personal development and self-care. I am huge, big about personal development, but I am even bigger about self-care. I have already created multiple episodes on self-care and personal development, so that's not something I'm going to be going over in depth today, but it is something that I want to talk to you guys about quickly. Now that you have some business friends, some people that you can talk to, some people that you can reach out to when you have questions, don't forget to not only talk business with these people, but create that personal relationship as well. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them what they're up to. Build an actual friendship, not a business ship, because these people can definitely be helpful to you, but you also want to feel connected to them and not only in the obligation of speaking to them about business. I hope that doesn't go over your head. Associating your business with a friend can make you feel so much better about your business, even if you're not doing well right now. If you like the person that you're speaking to, you want to talk about your business to that person, it will put in a better mindset for you that your business is what you need, they're what you need, and you can figure out what you need to do inside your business in order to succeed better, in order to succeed more, honestly. Y'all, my mouth getting dry. And finding a business friend isn't just about finding a friend for your business. It's genuinely about finding a partner or a friend that you can help, that they can help you. And it not only helps you, but it really promotes and it really helps you grow, not only in a professional sense, but a personal sense as well. And one thing that I know that I do so much and I do so well is I talk personal development and self-care in business, in your personal life, because it is so important. I fell into a depression because a lot of the things that I'm talking to you guys about now, I didn't know I needed inside of my business, inside of my personal life to help me grow myself. So I genuinely was just out here doing it. And I don't want you to go through the same mental break I went through because I didn't see the success I needed in my life. So it can be a lot of fun to open businesses, run it yourself, not have to answer to anyone. But you have to remember there are things that will leave you drained and overwhelmed and exhausted if you don't get ahead of them. I want you to write down a list of everything that you do for your business, everything that you do for yourself. And I want you to search either an AI, a software that can help you speed that process up. And I want you to come back and comment done. And in a week or two, I'm going to ask you, hey, what has changed in your business for the better? And if anything has changed in your business for the better, that's great. If there has been a slight change, a slight uptick in your business for the better, even better. Every single day, you need to be 1% better than you were yesterday. And that is my only goal for anyone who's listening to this podcast or watching this YouTube video. I want you to be better than what you were yesterday. As always, thank you guys so much for pulling up to the cookout and pulling up a seat to the space table. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll see you again next week. Much love, much kisses. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.